Welcome to the Artist Loft, the talk show for all artists. Join us each show as we spotlight a variety of different creatives, hosted by the Florida Arts Network, with Richard Sosa and Frank A. Ruffolo.
Hey, Lofties.
Hey,
Welcome
how's
back.
everybody doing? We are back with another episode of the Artist Loft, brought to you by the Florida Arts Network. Yes, we are an arm of the Florida Arts Network. One of the things that we like to do is to promote artists throughout South Florida, and this is how we do it. But we do need some help with that, like we do with the organization. So go to follow us on floridaartsnetwork.org and look at all the different ways that you can help out. We are a 501c3, so all your gifts would be tax deductible. So
You can even advertise on this show.
Yep.
Price start at $75. We also offer video services for reels, trailers, and commercials.
Yep. So so check us out. Check out our website. See what we're all about. See how you can help, and then let us know how you like the show, how you like what we want to do, and all this other stuff. If you have a need, reach out to us. Let us know. We are going to be taking phone calls today, hence the microphones as opposed to the labs. So call us at 888-994-4995. Studio A. All right, so today we have, what's her name again? No, I'm kidding.
Oh, before we start,
Oh.
you have to make a shout out to somebody.
Oh, yeah. Hey, Deb, shout out to you. I'll see you tomorrow.
Call in if you like.
Yeah, call in. Call in and say hi. If she's watching live, that'd be cool. All right, so thank you, Frank. Yeah, I'm all over the place. Frank is the one that keeps me grounded on this show. It's fantastic. I know somebody has to. Okay, so without any further ado, today we have Rachel Galvin. How
That's me.
are you?
I'm
There
doing
she
great.
is.
Here I
Yeah.
am.
Gosh, we've known each other a long time.
A long time.
Yeah. I mean, to the point where, we don't even remember how we met now.
Yeah.
It had to be at a networking event.
Probably. At least
Yeah.
15 years. At least.
Yeah. It's got to be.
I see you everywhere.
I know. Me everywhere. You're everywhere.
She's
That's
everywhere.
true.
Good grief.
Okay.
She's all
Oh,
over
my
the place.
gosh. Let me tell you something about Rachel. It's not an event if she's not there. That's all there is to it.
Thank you.
You're like a staple in this community.
She's
Thank
either
you.
there amongst the people, taking pictures, or interviewing.
That's right.
Yep.
That's right.
Absolutely.
Yep.
Oh my gosh! But you've done a lot of stuff yourself. I mean,
I have.
acting and writing and just all kinds of stuff.
Yeah.
Publishing.
Yeah.
Publishing. Yeah. I've got a little bit of everything. So when they did the bottom thirds for me, I just said etc. because it's like acting, writing,
That's great.
author. I'm a journalist. I'm a photographer. I've been
Yeah.
a talent manager. I mean, you name it.
Etc.
That's
Etc.
it. Rachel
cetera.
Galvin.
Yeah,
Been
yeah.
there, done that.
Yeah.
I know. Oh my gosh. Yeah. See, you should sell T-shirts like that. Rachel
There you
Galvin.
go. Been there, done that.
Yeah.
That's right. And
Yeah.
I wrote a book. See,
And
I
she
brought a
wrote a
book.
Yes. Let's take a look
Look
at
at
that. What is
Basics of the
Basics
Biz.
of the Biz.
This is the show and tell portion.
Yeah.
Yeah, this,
There
Vanna
we
Whi-
go.
this is not a very good Vanna White of it, but
And where can
yeah.
we get that book? Or where
Basics
can
of the
everybody get
Biz
that
is
book?
available on Amazon.
Cool
I
beans.
wrote it quite a while ago, but the first half, before I lived in Florida, I was in Los Angeles as a struggling actor, and we can talk more about that. But half of it is about that journey, and the other half is about how to become an actor. So headshots, resumes, acting classes. The union is now merged since I wrote the book, but it has all of those components to it, and that's what I wrote when I worked as a talent manager basically in LA,
Oh,
and
yeah,
I
that's right, you
downloaded
did.
all that information into a book. So
I know. I think that people just don't realize, the average person doesn't realize how much work goes into this industry.
Yes.
It's crazy. And a lot of people that are in the industry don't realize how much work goes into the industry, especially if they're the creatives. The creatives are the ones that struggle the most with it.
Yeah, you have to have the creative portion and the business portion. And most people do not have the business acumen to really make it in the business. And then there's luck, of course, that plays a role as well. But you have to know how to treat it like a business. And that's I talk about that in the book, Basics of the Biz, because you have to know all of the components as if you're your own talent manager, your own agent, basically. You're out there hustling for yourself because your agent gets 10%, let's say, they're only doing 10% of the work. You have to do the rest.
Yeah. Yeah.
So.
And so you're like the CEO, CFO, you're the marketing department, you're everything.
The bottle washer, everything.
The bottle washer,
Bottle
yeah.
washer, financial advisor,
Yeah.
everybody.
Yeah.
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 And I love that part of it. I like being an entrepreneur. I have my own magazine, Independent Streak, that I do. So I'm always busy working on that. So I go to all these events and I write about them. I do the photography. I'm the graphic designer. I promote it. So I'm doing everything. And then I have a blog, Let's Talk Magazine.
Yes.
So anything that's not film related is in the blog.
Yeah.
So I have everything.
Okay, so I gotta ask, what sparked your interest in the biz to begin with? Because something had to happen initially that you said, let me try this.
I was always a little bit interested in it. My family was an absolute no about it. And when my mother, who raised me, that's a whole other story, when she passed away, I was like, that's it. I'm going to act. Because she didn't want me to. She wanted me to be a there we go. Suddenly Donald Duck. that was backwards. Right?
Yeah.
She wanted me to be a teacher, and I wanted to be an actor and a lot of other things. So after she passed away, right away, I was like, that's it. I want to act. And I started writing my own monologues and performing them with this women's acting group. This was in Colorado, which is where I'm from originally. And I started taking acting classes. I started doing little plays around town. And then I just said, I want to move to LA. And everybody's like, absolutely not. My coach was like, you're crazy. You will come right back home. Don't do it. My family said, absolutely not. We forbid you. So I said, okay. And I just coincidentally, my friend at the same time said, I'm going to LA. Do you want to come with me on a trip? I said, yes.
Road trip.
I took my backpack full of stuff, and I went on the trip to see her friend. It was supposed to be for a week. And at the end of the week, I told her, I'm sorry, I'm not coming home. So I called up my dad, and I told him. And I had no place to go. I didn't know anybody in LA. And I could only think of staying in a hostel. It's the only thing I could afford. The only hostel I could find was down in San Pedro. And I was living at the time for the week with her friend in Thousand Oaks, which is pretty far away. And he's like, you can't stay here. So I rented a car and I drove down to to San Pedro. And I stayed in the hostel there until I found there was one in LA. So I stayed there. And this is a co-ed hostel. No air conditioning.
Oof.
Things were getting stolen every day.
Oh, my God.
So I stayed there for a little while. It got to be really bad. I was auditing acting classes, which is free acting classes, basically. You do one time.
Yeah.
So I just did a bunch of one times just to do something. And I met someone that said, hey, you can come stay with me. I'm leaving, and you can stay with my roommate and live there. So I finally got a space there. So that's how I got into acting originally. And then I ended up meeting someone while I was there, and he said his dream was to open a cell phone store. And he said, I want to go back home. He was from Florida. Come with me and do my dream. So I gave up everything to come to Florida. Again, I didn't know anyone across the country, So I came out here not knowing how to be in the acting industry. And I helped him build his cell phone empire for a few years.
Yeah.
And I saw a movie called Almost Famous. And after that, I was like, that's it. I want to be a writer. So that's how I got into writing. And now I do both.
Yeah.
So.
And the photography.
And everything else, yeah.
Yes, and et cetera.
Et cetera,
And
yeah.
et cetera.
All that, et cetera. Oh my gosh, okay. So you've had your share of challenges, huh?
That's an understatement.
Yeah.
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 Definitely.
And look, I know what it's like when your parents don't want you to go into the industry. My parents didn't want me to do it either. I knew at 5 that I wanted to be an actor.
Wow.
Yeah, I used to put on these little 15, 20-second skits,
Yeah.
you know, with the other kids, you know. Oh, what did I know, you know? And they're like, nope. My dad was like, nope, you need the 9 to 5, you know.
Right.
And
Right.
so I did that, but I was frustrated the whole time.
Yeah. I did it I did a little bit in college, you know, but I just didn't pursue it until that moment. And it was a real catharsis for me because I was grieving, and that really helps me get out of the funk of, you know, the depression of that by writing these monologues, and acting really helped me a lot. And then it just became a career, you know, after that.
Yeah. You know, how many times does that come up on the show, how therapeutic the arts can be?
Yeah, all the time.
It's constantly
what
coming
it
up.
is.
Yeah, it's incredible. We've had so many people on the show that, you know, have had stories where, you know, oh my gosh, this particular thing, you know, got me through it, or that particular thing got me through it, you know, and it's amazing. You know, we're actually talking to somebody about using art as therapy for kids and teens that are rescued from trafficking.
Right.
So, you know, we're looking into working with that organization.
And you and I are involved in the movie Sisters of Vengeance.
Yes, we are, which deals
has to do
with
with that.
yeah, which
Yeah.
deals with human trafficking.
I'm waiting for the feature to come out because I was an interviewer for
Yeah.
that. I did the short film, as you know,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
I was an interviewer during the short film, and now they're making the feature. And I'm very excited because we had a great day down in Miami for that scene that I did.
Oh my gosh,
So.
it was so much fun.
Yeah.
So much fun. Yeah, I'm running around and, well,
Well,
forgot part of my wardrobe.
Yes.
So I'm running around set, you know. Oh my gosh.
I was privileged to see that. I think I have
so
photographic
sorry.
evidence.
Yeah, I know. I know, right? She's got pictures.
Yeah.
She's got picture proof. So yeah.
Pictures. So
I
now
have-
you're in trouble. She's got pictures.
I have more dirt on people. You wouldn't believe the evidence I have.
Oh my gosh.
Like another book.
That's right. That's
yeah,
right. You never
there-
know. I was
there you
the
go.
editor for the local newspaper in Deerfield Beach for like 10 years. And I did a lot of interviews. I know all of the heavy hitters there. And now I've expanded and I know a larger group of people and through acting, and I know a lot of people.
Yeah. Yeah, you do. You really do. I mean, I thought I knew a lot of people.
Yeah.
But
And,
you, holy smoke. It's crazy.
Yeah. And I'm involved in a lot of the film festivals, like the Fort Lauderdale Film Festival. I'm there every time it happens. Tonight, the Popcorn Film Festival is happening. Popcorn Frights is happening tonight.
okay.
So I will be at that. That's a horror film festival. I used to run the Spooky Empire Horror Film Festival with my friend Kurt. I used to run the SuperCon Film Festival.
Oh my gosh.
I've been asked to possibly be a jurist for yet another film festival, so it's like I'm always doing something.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, and Fliff is going to be coming up again soon.
November.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we were at the opening
Yes.
last year.
For the
Yes.
good half.
Yeah, for the good half with
Jason
with Nick
Schwartzman.
Jonas and
Yeah.
Robert Schwartzman,
Robert
director.
Schwartzman.
Brett Ryland was a writer. Got to meet both of them. Real nice
Yes.
guys. Great movie. If you guys do get a chance to see the good half, absolutely. Okay. Oh my gosh. Hey, look at that.
What? I
Ellen
can't see.
Thea.
Oh.
Hi, Rachel. Dave and I listening from Alaska.
Yes, my
Holy
friend,
moly,
my friend
from
Ellen.
Alaska.
We were talking about crystals earlier. I was talking with Christine. She's very much into crystals and tarot and astrology. She's an astrologist, and that's her life. And I love her for that. So
Yeah.
it's very different from what I do. But she always used to do readings for me when she came into town. She used to live here, and now she lives in Alaska. So
Yeah, wow. Yeah, I have a friend of mine that lives in Alaska as well, which is pretty crazy. All right, so we're going to take a couple of minutes for a commercial break, and then we will be right back with Rachel Galvin.
See you soon.
Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Agent Romante, but most of you know me as Esteban Julio Ricardo Montoya de Rosa Ramirez from The Sweet Life of Zach and Cody. I just wanted to give a shout out to my man, Richard Sosa. He is one of the best acting coaches that I've had the pleasure to work with, and he's actually worked with me in my program for many years, and I highly recommend this guy. So if you have an opportunity to work with him, what are you waiting for? Now, get out of my face. Esteban Julio Ricardo Montoya de Rosa Ramirez. I am out.
Frank A. Ruffolo, a renowned author and screenwriter known for his books such as 10048, Blue Falcon, Memoir of a Soldier, and his latest, Samuel of Sarah. Check out his website, frankaruffolo.com, for more info or purchase his books on Amazon.
And
Hi,
we're back.
guys.
We are back. All right, back with Rachel Galvin, who has done so much.
done it all.
Yeah,
all.
you've done it all.
When
so
did you start getting into publishing your own magazine?
It's hard to. I've done it for 10 years, actually. Before I did the magazine, I did a podcast for another, I don't know how many years, 3 years, I think. It was called Indie Streak. It's still on Blog Talk Radio. So I used to interview people like you do on radio. It wasn't on video, it was only radio. So I interviewed a lot of filmmakers all over the world for that. And then I said, I don't want to do that anymore. Now I want to do the magazine, which is Independent Streak Magazine, STREAK. And that magazine, again, I interview filmmakers. I go to film festivals and write about it. I go to Florida Arts Network events and also the Flow Film Festival events, which,
Yes.
by the way, next event that they do, I'm going to be the host for that, which is on the 14th at 7 o'clock at Rhythm and Vine in Fort Lauderdale, for those that are local.
okay. At 7 o'clock?
It's 7 o'clock. It's a little bit later just for me.
Yeah.
Just
okay.
for me.
Aww.
Yeah, isn't that nice?
yeah.
Because it's hard for me to get there on time. It starts like, she mixes it up. Sometimes it's 5, sometimes it's 6. Now it's going to be 7. Going to be greeting everybody. It's just an informal networking event, basically.
Yeah, it really is. I've met some pretty interesting people.
Mm-hmm. It's just like the Florida Arts Network events.
Yeah.
We have great time on the rooftop and everything. So
yeah, absolutely.
Everybody should check both of those out. It's always good to network with people. And like I said, I write about it for my magazine. So you never know, you might be in the magazine if you show up to these events.
Yeah.
And I interview people all over the world. It just has to have a South Florida connection.
Yeah.
So it's usually, like I wrote about Nicolas Cage, who came down here to Miami for the Miami Film Festival. And he did the best Q&A I've ever seen a celebrity do. And I wrote about the entire thing. And I got to shake his hand, and he was fantastic.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
I've interviewed a lot of great people through the years.
Yeah, and Kimberly is just,
I love Kimberly.
love her. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
She is amazing. Such a hard worker.
Yes, and she's very smart.
She is. She really is.
Mm-hmm.
And dedicated to the arts, and she loves her film festival. She's always trying to make it bigger and better. She's on our board of directors.
Yep.
Yeah.
And I'm on Flo's board of
Yes,
directors.
I'm-
And Ellen made a little comment just now, said, wow, great Rachel Galvin.
Thanks, Ellen.
See? There
Yep, there we go. Yep, yeah, she is great. She is
great.
amazing. Absolutely amazing. So,
So if anybody wants to call in, say hello to Rachel if you know her. 888-994-4995, Studio A. Give us a call.
Or text like they're doing.
yeah, or
Yeah.
text. Yeah. Is that what they're doing? Is there texting?
I don't know. You're
That's,
asking me?
Facebook. They're
Oh, it's
commenting on
Facebook. Oh, they're commenting on Facebook. Okay. All right. Duh. I don't know, trying to teach an old dog new
Yeah.
tricks. Yeah, it's just rough. Yeah.
Yeah, Facebook is not a pocket mirror.
That's right. That's right. I'm not on Facebook as much anymore. I'm
I
on
hate you
Instagram
sometimes.
now.
I really do.
A lot of selfies, right? I'm on Instagram more now because it seems like every party I go to, everyone's, what's your Instagram? So
Yeah.
now I'm doing a lot of reels on Instagram because I'm so busy. I don't have time anymore to do all the photos I used to put on Facebook.
Mm-hmm.
Like I have to watermark them, edit, go through all the photos. It's just too much. So I'm just doing videos, which is getting a lot of attention. I had a video that was like 1,600 people that I posted the other day.
Yeah.
So that's pretty effective, I think.
Yeah, and you've got a younger crowd on
Yes.
on Instagram
Mm-hmm.
as opposed to Facebook. I have been told to my face that Facebook is for old
Yeah,
people.
I've been told that too.
I'm like, you know what? Of course, now we're all migrating to Instagram, so they're going to have to leave and find
That's
something
right.
else.
They're going to have to get out.
Well, they do a
We're
lot of
coming in.
TikTok and everything else.
Yeah, I do a little TikTok here and there, not as much as I used to.
Yeah.
But-
Yeah, and see that's another part of what we do is social media.
Yes.
It's crazy. Got something flying around my head here.
That's-
It's crazy how dependent we become on social media.
Yes.
I'm hardly on there.
I know a certain person that's on Facebook 24 hours a day.
Who? Who could that be?
There's probably several
Who could that
people.
be?
Maybe. But
Yeah.
I happen
No.
to know someone.
He does enough social media for all of us.
Yes.
I jump on there once in a while, scroll a little bit, make a comment, get myself into
Yeah.
trouble, that kind of stuff. But-
Yeah, I just do
yeah.
enough to get you in trouble, pretty
Yeah.
much. Yeah.
So what are you working on presently?
Well, I'm waiting for a couple films to come out that I was involved in. There's one I did quite a while ago called The Driven. That's going to be hopefully coming out soon. And then Sisters of Vengeance, of course.
Mm-hmm.
And then I did that 48-hour film project last year that won several awards. So
Oh, very
maybe
nice.
I will be in a new 48-hour film project because that's coming up in September.
Yeah.
I'm deciding if I'm going to do that or not. But I'm open for acting parts. So if anyone needs an actress, I would love to jump on board. Just let me know. I've been
Yeah.
doing it for 20 years, so
Yeah.
plus
And
years.
And if you're not acting, you're acting up.
That's right. That's right.
Or acting out.
Or acting out,
Yeah.
yeah. And those 40, Andrew Garcia. Hey, Rachel.
Hey,
Who's
Andrew.
the craziest person you've interviewed? Oh, okay.
He has to ask the hard questions. He's known more celebrities than I've ever known. He's at every event, all over the country, like meeting celebrities. The craziest person I have ever interviewed. That's a tough one. I've interviewed some pretty crazy people. I can tell you a funny story of someone that I interviewed.
Okay.
Dennis Farina, who you probably know from Law and Order, and he's been in a ton of other things. One of my first interviews I did, and all the questions I had was how he went from being a police officer to being on Law and Order and what the transition was like, how he used that, had all these questions. I get there to interview him. He said, I don't want to talk about that. So now I was really stuck, and I admitted, I was like, that's what I have for questions.
Yeah.
And he said, go have a bagel, come back, and I'll talk to you in a few minutes, and think about it. So I did a little research on Google, and I came up with all these great questions about his independent career, which is what he wanted to talk about, surprisingly.
Mm-hmm.
And we had a great interview, and we became friends. Unfortunately, he passed away, but I thought that was such a sweet story. He was such a sweet guy, and he
Yeah.
was giving me a little bit of a hard time, but it was great. It worked out
Yeah.
really well, and that was one of the first interviews I did. Actually, my very first was Debbie Reynolds, Carrie Fisher's mom.
Wow.
Yes, and that was fantastic. I was
Oh
so
my
nervous.
gosh.
I almost
Oh, I
turned
bet.
around and didn't do it. It was at the Hard Rock. Had to go there, and I spent 30 minutes with her, one-on-one,
Oh my gosh.
just by ourselves, recorded. And it was one of the best interviews I've ever done.
Wow, Debbie Reynolds.
Boy,
Yeah.
She must have had some stories.
Oh
Yeah.
my gosh, yeah.
I was
no-
asking
no
her about
kidding.
Elizabeth Taylor and if there's still some animosity there, and she's like, that's all water under the bridge. You know, we're all friends now.
Yeah.
You know.
All right, so real quick, because we are down to 1 minute.
Okay.
So one more time, where can people reach you and find out more
Okay.
about you?
Well, I'm on Facebook under my name. Also Instagram, I think they put that in the bottom thirds, is writer Rachel 969. And look for my Independent Streak magazine. I also have a Facebook page for it with tons of castings for actors constantly. And Let's Talk Magazine, if you put it all together in the little address bar, that's my blog. And you can keep an eye out for all of that and look for me at an event somewhere soon.
Yes, absolutely. All right, Rachel, thank you so much for being
Rachel.
on the show.
Great
Thank
guest.
you.
Yeah, absolutely. All right. So that wraps up another
Wraps up another
episode
half an
of
hour.
the Artist Loft. I can't believe how quickly the time goes. So once again, our website is floridaartsnetwork.org. Check us out and help us out and
Yeah,
let
write a
us
check.
Yeah. Yeah, write a check. All right, everybody. Well, we will see you all in 2 weeks. Thanks for stopping on by.
Bye.
Thank you for watching The Artist Loft. Make sure to tune in next time for another great show. A show that was produced by Ant Media Productions and hosted by the Florida Arts Network with your hosts Richard Sosa and Frank A. Raffola.